on to do something else. That there's better ways to use your time than to constantly be self-improving on something. Because if you keep grinding your sword against that grindstone, eventually you will have no sword left. You will lose any semblance of personality and identity that you have by co-opting all these traits that you hear about online and what your ideal person is. Because for reference, this is what we're looking at. Oh shoot, it's bigger than I thought. What would I say, like 40-inch maybe? I'm not sure. Here's a Switch game for scale. This game and there's TV. It's pretty big. But the problem is that right now it's sitting on the floor and I haven't gotten around to getting some cabinet or whatever to put it on. Ideally, I would want to have it like at least this high, so then I could just like swivel my chair around. Just spin this bad boy around. Instead of being at the game setup, it will be at the retro setup, and that would be easier. But like right now, I can't sit in this chair, otherwise my neck would be facing like straight down, and it would make my posture worse than it currently is. And my only option left is to sit on the floor, which isn't necessarily a bad option, but I'd have to be sitting up for a while. It gets uncomfortable, especially on just a wood floor like this. It would be nice if there was at least a wall behind me that I could slouch against. Maybe that's just my problem, that I have shit posture. But I find this comfort to be an extreme deterrent whenever I want to turn on my PS2 or something. And my Super Famicom isn't even plugged in because of this. Welcome to the epic rant party, where I rant about whatever the fuck I want to, and no one can tell me otherwise. Today I'm going to be ranting about shit that is important, because I don't want to actually make an entire video about, but I want to get it off my mind so I could just have it out there and be like, hey, this is how I feel about X. Bottoms up, lads. Mario Kart 8 Deluxe, right? Everybody fucking knows this game. It's the best-selling Mario Kart of all time. But it's actually the worst Mario Kart. The best Mario Kart is Mario Kart DS. This game is too shiny. And like you go upside down and shit, and there's too much stuff. There's too much. And it feels weird. But the biggest one that I never see people discuss is doing voice work for localized movies. When movies are in English or released by Hollywood and they're brought over to Japan, sometimes they dub over voices. So for some movies there's a Japanese dub of, and that's something that you never really see discussed, because a lot of these people, and especially like we don't even see a lot of these people, but like some seiyuu will probably exclusively do voice work within live action film adaptations, and they do the dubbing work for that. Similar to how, was it Christian Bale who did the voice for Howl in Howl's Moving Castle? I think that's who it was. But like they sometimes will bring an actor, but sometimes it will just be a seiyuu, and it just depends on the contract and the agency you work for. But there's a lot of different work that a seiyuu will do, and that just makes the diversity of the work that Japanese seiyuu do a bit more broad, and it makes their history of the voice acting industry more rich. I guess like if we take it to that logical extreme, I don't want to see any human beings ever, but I guess that's besides the point. that feel when you will never go to Natsumatsuri with your love interest? Damn, bro, you could have seen her in Yukata. But it's so far away. So far away. Alright, this might be the comfiest setup I got going yet. The biggest thing that I have a gripe with, this is what I'm gonna end with, is that you see like 18 plus and NSFW cosplay stuff. That's where I get really, really furious. Because it seems like, as opposed to like doujinshi or just lewd art, that's fine. Like you can do that on the side. But this seems like a very, very, very thinly veiled a targeting of very specific demographic of people who like a certain character or like anime, and then they see this 3D PD with the outfit on, making the really shitty ahegao face, and that's where I draw the line. That's where 2.5D breaks down for me, because that's a very blatant example of someone taking advantage of that specific fallacy within 2.5D lovers, and like forcing them, like dragging them back to reality and being like, nah, you actually care about the, because to me what that is it's a 3D PD masquerading as a 2D, but targeting the primal urges of a person's attraction towards 3D reality, you should say. So it's like it's a corruption of the perfection that you see within 2D, and that ended up spiraling out of control. But I guess that's the general point. I don't like cosplay.
What I like to think was, Let's Plays take a game that's not theirs and just talk over it and release it and make money from it. Most of them anyway. So they're already entirely on the basis of, without permission, using someone else's creative property to, make their own creative property that piggybacks on the original. I would actually say that what she was doing, again, I haven't actually seen her videos, but what she was doing is probably even more transformative than what they were doing with the game, since Let's Plays kind of rely on the game to carry part of what they're doing, whereas an analysis video could really do with or without the footage. It's just there for the sake of convenience, because it's a visual medium and you're making a video.
The best part about today is that I get to do it all again tomorrow.